Alrighty, hi, this is Kim Pinkney and welcome to my channel. I apologize, I've been having some technical difficulties. So hopefully you guys can see me. I hope you can hear me. Let me see if my mic is on. Yep, I'm making all kinds of noise. And it's just that my music is not kicking on like I want it to. So I'm like, well, son of a biscuit eater. It is what it is. It was disco anyway. Anyway. Okay, so today I am going to take a break from my 30 days superhero challenge, and I'm going to be working on a birthday caricature because you know birthdays come every year if you're lucky. And let's see, this one is, he's having a Mario theme party this time, or rather a Nintendo theme party. So I figured, you know, there might be other people that might like to have a Nintendo themed party. So I'm going to go ahead, and this one I'm going to start off with Maario. And this is going to be an image that they could possibly use for invitations or for just little printouts, you know, something fun. And maybe even something that they could use for thank you cards. So the first one here that I'm going to draw is, I'm going to start off my caricature with, with the eraser tool. Little rough sketch of where I want the body to go. And we're going to have him holding a big wedge of birthday cake. And I think I should put one of the little Maario, I think there's like a little fire guy. I gotta look. But you know how some of these Goombas and whatnots are. They like to masquerade as different things. So I'm just doing a loose sketch, and his head will go like right here. It'll be kind of like oversized type of thing. And good morning to all, or afternoon, or whenever you've happened to cross my video. And I did start on one for Link last night. I was just so hot, and I'm like, I can't sleep. Plus I went to bed at a really ungodly hour for sleep. And for this one here, yeah, so I drew one for Link. So like if people want to have a caricature done of themselves, I just go ahead and put the head in there. Just an example and whatnot. And if they want, they can have it put onto a t-shirt, or they can have an electronic file that they can pretty much have printed up themselves any way that they want. And I figure little pictures like this would be nice on like the triangular pennants for decorations, especially if you can't find this particular theme in your own neck of the woods. It's like, if you can't find it, make it. And what I'll probably end up doing is bringing this into Adobe Draw just to clean up my lines. There we go, and we'll make it a little bit bigger. We'll bring it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put his face right here. Now, with caricatures, it's a lot better if you can find a face, or find the person's face in the direction that your character is facing. That way it kind of blends in together. Let's see, and we'll do the Maario hat. All but putting the mustache on him. And instead of the M, I'm going to put my friend's initial on there. And I was thinking for myself, it's like, what do I like so much that I would want a themed party of? And it would have to be something anime, I think. You know, my little fan art type of stuff. Okay. Now, let's see. I'll show you the face that I'm going to be working with in a sec. Because I figured that it'd be easier to just go ahead and do both at the same time. The body, the template. Let's see. Alright. So let me show you the face that I'm going to be working with and how I'm going to... I've got this one here. And let me see if I got the other face. Well, this one's going to be a good one to work with. Usually I wouldn't accept a picture like this because it's so dark, but since I'm going to cartoon it up anyway, it's not going to be too big of a deal. Let's see, so I'm going to take aspects of how Maario is drawn and see if I can apply my friend to that. And I've got several choices. I can make the big eyes like this, or I can do like the toad type of pictures and stuff like that. Let's see, Mario's got a bulbous nose and it's like this. Very simple. And then we'll go ahead and give him his smile. Now the picture that I have is a little older, or rather a little, yeah, it's an older picture. So what I'm going to end up doing is I won't black out the tooth that he's missing. Let's go. And then I would take like a little bit of aspects of him and toss them on here, give him the thick eyebrow, kind of like how Mario's got his. And the hat comes really low, but since he's got hair coming in front, we'll go ahead and bring that into the front a little bit. Maybe have a little bit peek out like Maario. And we'll make his ear look a little bit more like my friend's ear instead of Mario's, but we'll still keep the simple drawing. So it's like you make a compromise to try to keep either some of the aspects that you see from the cartoon versus real life. Yeah, we'll do this sort of thing. We'll give him the big smile. And just cleaning up some of the lines here. We'll just keep, let's see, Mario's got a round head, so I'll go ahead and keep the round. And then let's see if I can find different Maario characters. Let's see. Oops. See if they've got a little fire guy. I thought they did. Let's see. Trying to find the little enemies. Oh, okay. The fire that they had were stacked on top of each other. No, it wasn't. I remember that there was a... Oh, you know what they have. You know what we should put on here is like a little ghost. Because like when you turn around, then they get shy, and then, but when you turn one way, they get shy when you're facing them. Let's see if I can get this thing to pop open. My computer's kind of slow this morning. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to open, and we should have like a banana peel or all these other little crazy things. Let's see. I could change the cake into make it like a cupcake. One of the ideas that I'm thinking of is trying to make this into like a birthday cup, you know, like for Mario Kart. So let me go ahead and get this into go ahead and copy this, but I'm thinking that maybe this could be a turtle shell with yeah, I think it should be a turtle shell. Hold up. Okay, let's see. We'll do a turtle shell kind of cake. And we'll have like a little eye here. Little eye here. And we'll just make this kind of like in a turtle shell. We'll erase this part. Put it in his hands here. You know, for all his homies that have come. Let's see, and I want to put like a little fire face onto this. Let's see, because I don't think there's a fire creature. There isn't a rats. There isn't a fire creature. There's like a little fire wisp type thing, but none of these guys are on fire. They shoot fire. Like there's the fire flower. Let's see. No, okay. Alright, no worries. Let's go ahead and bring it in. I'm going to go ahead and copy this layer. Alrighty, and then I'm going to come into here. And let's see. Crap, I forgot the size. Let's see. I wonder if it has. We'll do this one. And we'll do another image layer. And then we'll paste image. There we go. And hopefully when it comes out, it'll come out as a high-res image. There we go. And then I'm going to take this, drop the opacity a bit, and then set up my pins here. I like this one. Let's see, it's black. We'll drop the size down, we'll say about 4. We'll change the pressure dynamics. We'll turn those off. And let's see what we got here. I just love the lines in this. Now somewhere on here I should put and his eyebrows come above there. I should put his age. Well, I can't remember if Maario had a band around his head. Let me see. No, he doesn't. Okay, so this is like one big circle here. Alrighty, and then that side. Just bring those circles on in, and I'm just kind of taking them from one point go ahead and erase just a smidge. Bring this down. We fix his fingers here. There we go. There we go, and got the red cuff. Oops. All right. Almost there. And then we can hop onto the cart. Let's see. Make sure I got everything covered. Let's see. We'll just give it a little bit of a lip there. And I could probably bring that ear up a little bit. Let's see. We'll throw some hair here. All right. And then let's see, we'll give it like a little bit of let's see, but I think it should have like a little face or something. Let's see, even if it's just like one of those little maybe it's like a little bomb guy because he's not allowed to run with fire. Here we go. We'll put like a little we'll throw a little mask on him. It's the closest thing to fire we're gonna get. And then let's see, and then just be colored in. Let's see. Oh, forgot the eyes here. Let's see, I need to erase a couple little items. We'll zoom in. Yeah, downside to this program is like I can't delete the little stray lines on this one, but when I bring it into Procreate, like if I'm on this layer, I can't delete this layer. So it's like you're stuck with it. Let's see, now, did I need this line? I don't think so. I think that was just a stray. Let's see, we'll just leave it like this. But since it's not authentic, let's take this guy off here. Since there isn't a character that looks like this. And these guys have eyes that are filled in. There we go. And just let's see. So we've got that going on. Let's see. Will it fill? There we go. Don't want them to look crazy. Whoops. Oh, I hate that when that happens. There we go. Alright. Yeah, I'd color it here too, but it doesn't color well. Doesn't play nice. And then I would go into my little friend's picture and see if there's anything here that I could use in his ear or anything like that. Let's see. We'll give him like a little bit of dimple there. We'll extend this out just to keep a little bit of him in there. Okay. And we could probably go a little bit bigger on his eyebrows. All right. And then we'll just go ahead and delete this. And then we've got the blank picture of him. It looks weird without Mario without a mustache. And then I'll clean it up a little bit more in the other program. So let me go ahead and copy it. Now, also the downside to when you bring it back over, it doesn't seem like it wants to put it back where you started. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and see if it'll let me do it. Add and then paste. Nope. Okay. So what I end up having to do sometimes is creating a whole nother and let it just go ahead and grab it off the clipboard. The downside to that is that when you come back in here, the canvas might not be the right size or whatnot. It'll be, yeah, it came back as the other thing, and that's not exactly what I wanted to do. Let me go back to the gallery and see if it'll let me paste it here. I really don't like how the brushes act in this program. Let's see if it'll let me. No, it won't let me paste there. Oh, come here. Okay. Why won't you let me? Let me try again. Frustrating. So yeah, I would end up having to be in the other program. Shoot. I wonder if there's a way to copy what we see. Oh, I think I know how to do it. Let me see. And then image, copy. And that should let us do it. Okay, we're on a new layer. Yay! Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this one kind of disappear for now. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. Let's see, we'll make it bigger. And then I'm just going to go ahead and select in color. Oops. But before I do that, because coloring does take a bit, I'm going to take him down a little bit, move him this way. And then I want to start on, let's see, we'll take this one. Now, I just want to show you what I came up with for Link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a head and put it on top of this body. Looks like I got rid of the other layer. But yeah, I had already gone into Adobe Draw, made my lines, and now all it needs to do is be colored. So I think what I'll do, just to make things easier for his mom to see, I'll go ahead and copy. Or actually, I could just probably copy the layer. And then come back here. We'll put it on a different layer. Okay, that'll work. There he is. Okay, and for this one, if I was doing him as Link, same kid, I'm going to go ahead and do more of a realistic look about him. Okay, so we know what the body's going to look like. And we'll put that right there. And we'll see which one she kind of likes best. I'm going to go ahead and do a sketch. Now when I do caricatures, I like to do big head, little body. And since I'm under no real time constraints, besides having to go to work, I get the shape of the head, and you can have fun with it and try to keep it cartoon-like. And Link has a hat, so I would definitely throw the hat on him. And then you just pretty much try to follow the rules that you would for, you know, drawing however you want to draw. When I was working at Busch Gardens, we had to work with pens. There was no erasing because it took long. You know, people are there to go to the, you know, they were at Busch Gardens for the attractions. They weren't there for me. But, you know, they had to sit down sometime, and I was a great excuse. Now, I was a terrible salesperson, but I loved how kids would just be like, oh my gosh, that's cool. Because it's like you don't get to see people nowadays just create something, in front of you. Like I always used to love to watch artists draw on TV. One of the big ones I used to love to watch was Tom Hatton, when he was doing Popeye. He was hosting a Popeye show. It was just so cool that he would make images out of the squiggles. Now what I could do is, since Link is a elf, give him the elf ears. Now kids I like to make look like Disney cartoons. And I take a lot of their face to try to get their likeness. And a lot of people are like, the purists are like, that's not a real caricature, but I draw what I like. I could draw the big googly eyes and stuff like that, and the distorted face, but I like to see their faces light up when I've got them, recognizably just a little distorted, a lot of fun. But yeah, and guys are a lot more easier to do than women, because we've got a stigma about us that we don't want to be. Guys don't mind to have their, the things that make them look funny or distinctive, show. If they've got a big nose, by all means take that big nose. But ladies like to look pretty. They want to look. If you're going to draw me as a princess, well, damn it, I better be a princess. But, like, for fun, it would be like, I would put the little hole in his tooth or something like that, and just draw the big teeth or whatnot. But, since he's a little older, and I think he's got all his teeth, I don't need to do that. So, let me take that down a little bit. Now, the trick, if you do this, is that you've got to grab something that makes it look like them, or else they'll be like, it doesn't look like me. So it's kind of hard when the picture's this tiny and this dark, but it is what it is. And old. Don't forget he's much younger here. We're now in our double-digit ages. That's a single-digit age. Let me go ahead and reduce that neck on Link here. So this would be like a really cool character to have when you're like in their double digits, or let's see, yeah, like in their double digits. Now when I get ready to color it, oh that's right, I'm gonna have to bring this into that other program. Because I want the lines to mesh, and I don't think I've got a brush that mimics this Procreate brush is nice. A Procreate brush that mimics this other brushes nicely. But let me see what I've got. That way I can save a little time. Let's see, do I have anything? I've been using the studio pen. Let me see if that'll work for me on this. Oh, and if it doesn't, I'll just go ahead and bring it in. I think it might work. It's a little thick, so let me take it down a notch. We'll put that on another layer. Okay, maybe a little too notchy. There we go. but I love drawing the little girls because then you could put like the little stars and the wispy hair. Yeah, everybody always hated me drawing their hair, and I'm like, are you kidding? Your hair is cute. The wispier the hair, the more tousled, the better it looks as a cartoon. And at least on the little girls and the ladies. And I'll show you in a bit, because I don't have a little girl to draw. And just take little bits of him here. And we'll just take some little bits here. And I apologize, I was not in the chat, but I will pop it open in a second. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we'll take a bit of his hair here. Actually, I don't need to do that. I'm going to use the hairbrush. Okay. So we'll give him his elf ears. His mom told me that his brother is more into Link, but this is his birthday, so I'm focusing more on him. Do this sort of thing here. There we go, and just add your. Let's see, we don't want to make him older, so I'm not going to put as much detail on him. Let's see. And we'll make him a little rounder just to keep that kid look about him. Okay, and then the hair. Just go ahead and get the shape, basically. Alright. This brush isn't too bad. You see how Link's hair does its thing. Oh, there's been people here. Oh my god, I'm not used to that. Holloway Ventures. Hey Randy, how you doing? You know, yes, curves are important. Yeah, I popped into Adobe Draw because it's got really good brushes. Very solid, very dark. Yeah, and then it's harder to get rid of stuff in the Adobe Draw than it is in the Procreate. Oh, and Adobe Animate. No, I haven't used that. Because I've always had Photoshop at the same time I had Animate, so I never really used it. Another thing that I would use would be, what is it called? Flash. Flash I would use, and I'm dying because I can't use it on this. I tried doing the, what is it called? Where you can mirror your screens and stuff, but I couldn't get it to do what I wanted to do. So like maybe on his, okay, so like maybe on this guy's shield, I could probably put his age and then still kind of get it to look like, let's see, still kind of get it to look like the little symbol. So he's 10 now. So, and usually on the shield is a Triforce. So I'm thinking we got the Triforce. And then usually there's like a bird-like symbol. And then instead of the bird-like symbol, I'm going to do the number 10, but kind of put it in the same kind of font family, sort of. So we'll just make this like into a 1. And then this into a 0. And then maybe do like a little bevel or something like that. But I think it has notches. I couldn't look at the dang number. Hold on for a second. Let me look at my source image here. Now I like using Google Slides for source images. Okay. Pop that open. There we go. Oh, okay. Alright, so to make it look like a bird, we'll put, I'm going to make this look kind of like an N. And then we'll connect the 1 and then we'll make it look like wings. So, but we'll have it open on this side. So this is like a wing shape. Let me go ahead and bring this up more. We'll just, well, and believe me, my lines weren't always clean, and still I kick myself because they're definitely not clean. I've seen a lot cleaner. I have dirty lines, dirty darling, dirty lines. Let's see. And I'll move him out the way so you guys can see what I'm working on. And let's see. I gotta zoom in on the shield, see all the other stuff that is on it. Okay, let me see. The symbols that are on this shield, I'm gonna make them a little smaller so I can give it kind of like a beveled edge. So about like right there maybe. And then we'll make it look more like the shield itself. Let me see. Let me put it back on blue here. Okay, so it has, we'll have something like, we'll just kind of improvise a little bit. We'll say for the birthday adventure, this is the birthday adventure shield. We should have something like another type of, we should have pennants or something like that in there, like little happy birthday or something. But I also want them to be able to wear, if I do have it made into a shirt, like say they decide to go with my Teespring and have it made into a shirt, instead of just an electronic image that can be used on invitations or printouts or thank you cards. I could make it so that it doesn't scream birthday, so it could be worn like, throughout the year, but it'll still be them. When you're a kid and you have something that's like kind of tailored to you, you got to kind of use it or lose it. You grow out of things so fast. And it's cute. I used to love things that were tailored to me. I had a teacher back in kindergarten, and she used to draw. And we all thought that was the coolest thing. And she would draw little, what is it called? Little cartoons on papers that we got 100 on. So like if we got our spelling right, she would draw a little cartoon, but if you missed one, you didn't get the cartoon. So I became really good at spelling. She's one of those type of teachers that you would slip up and call her mommy. She was so cool. And and because and it wasn't like she did like Disney-like cartoons or anything like that, but it was still magical to have someone draw something as a congratulations, like it's a victory cartoon, and it was so much fun. She was a great teacher. At least for that, you know, it wasn't much in that time frame for little kids to grasp onto, you know, but it was like, that was awesome. That's before like the Saturday morning cartoons really took off, and yeah, she was awesome. Now, also another cool thing about caricatures is that you don't have to be precise. You can be a little messy. You can be, you know, it's your style, whatever you're going with. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be, you know, nice. You know, something that the kids would understand and embrace, and you know, and it's something that is going to be special to them, very special. Oh, okay, I'll fix that in a sec. But I pretty much want to just get the gist here. Okay, so this is going to be the number 1. I need to clean up my lines. See, you jinxed me. You got clean lines. And thank you for the compliment. I truly appreciate it. But yeah, so on this, I definitely want to create my own cartoons and stuff. I don't know why I erased that. I want to make a cleaner line. So we'll make this one here for the clean line. I wonder if I can drop the opacity on this one just a bit. And then just redraw the lines onto this layer. Because I'll end up merging these anyway. Let me bring this guy down. I'm going to merge these two, because I've got the body already saved on another one. Now I could, for drama's sake, let me undo that, bring that head down a little further. Let's see, if I didn't have the other thing connected. Let's see, maybe not. No, it's not connected. Let me bring that down. And I can adjust it either, if for a teenager I'd leave it kind of like up there, but for like a little kid I'd bring it down a little bit in between, just to give them a shorter neck. There we go. And then I can erase a few things. We'll go back onto here. Okay, so I don't really need this layer so much, but I'm going to drop the opacity and see if I can do my final lines on this layer. Okay. Helps to be on the right brush. Yeah, and I think the more that you tailor your art to, you know, the fan art type of thing for this caricature, the more unique it is. You may still have the same pose, but you might change something up. You might color it differently. Let's see, I was going to make this into an N. It's kind of weird because I want it to stay symmetrical. We'll just do this sort of thing. So it's kind of like a bird turning that way. You see it's got these little dots here. And I want the opening here Let's see, we'll do this sort of thing, even though that doesn't make any sense. Because these are supposed to be like a bird's wing. Let's see. And I think for this one, we'll have the same thing where it kind of splits off, but it'll stay connected maybe. It doesn't look so much like a 1 and a 0, so I'm not going to sweat it. Let me go back. We'll just do this sort of thing. And let me see if I can make this. It could be a break in it. I'm trying to think, how can I make that look like a break? Maybe a crack? It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a good start. And then just go ahead and... Now the fun part's going to be coloring it. I don't know if I like that symbol, but it's supposed to be like a beveled edge here. Let's see. And then, but I can't decide what I want to do with the wings. I might just leave them alone. Or maybe try to make it look like a cake of some sort. I don't know. But keep it subtle. Let's see, we'll do a little edge here. Oh, you can't wait till I color. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm not sure if I like the eyes here because it looks like I lost a little bit here. Let's see. Hurry up and color, woman. Oh, probably because when I brought it down, I didn't bring both layers with me. Let's see. So that's okay. We don't really need this one anymore. And I think what I'm going to do when I color, I'm going to look at the little boy here. What did I do with you, little boy? There you are. I'll bring you back over here. Alrighty. And I'm going to try to take some of the tones that I see. Let's see. We'll have one layer beneath that. Because we probably don't need this one anymore. But I'm going to keep some of my line art just in case I need to come back and do something different. Or if it's something that could be used on... Oops, wrong layer. If it's something that could be used on... another picture, you know, instead of reinventing the wheel, you know, just take the picture or take his head like this, take off the link thing and then use it somewhere else, especially if it turns out really nice. So let's go ahead and start coloring. One of the ways that I think I lost the inner stuff to his ear. Oh well, we'll do it again. Let's see. One of the things I like doing when I color, let me take some of the stuff here from his ear. Whoops. Is I would take, let's see, see, we'll keep it simple. The selection tool, and just go ahead and drop the solid tones in. Let's see. And we'll hit add. Yeah, that's where I always mess up, is instead of hitting add, I'm hitting the selection tool up at the top, and all it does is deselect it, and it's like, no. And so we're doing the flesh tone first. Okay, I think I got everything. And then go to color. Let's see, we'll use a light tone. Go ahead and stick that on in. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. Just make sure I'm filling in the right, I'm not filling in the right layer. Wonderful. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can do it here. Now, the reason why I put it all, I try to keep the line art separate, is because I don't want to obliterate it. There we go. And I get to keep my lines. Sometimes I'll go around and I will obliterate the line art, but this is, I don't think this is going to be one of those pictures. Okay, so his hair is kind of blonde and brown, combination of both. So my favorite is the fine hair and the short hair brush. Let me deselect, create a whole nother layer for that, because if I mess up, then I can just go ahead and delete it. Let me make this big. And this is just all like, because I like these brushes, and it just gives him that realistic look. Same thing here. I'll just go ahead and give him those long, luscious eyebrows, and then I'll just kind of trim it. And then let's see, most of his shadows are, we'll give him a little bit darker brown, are in the front here. And then the highlight, we'll give it about between the flesh tone and that peach tone. Oops, sorry, nobody can see anything over his head. Okay, so I'm just going to push this over to the side, and I'm just going to bring some of the brown in and over the top. And what's cool is that if you have waves and stuff like that, you can incorporate that in here. If he had a fro, I would just make like little squiggles like this, just like little round motions, and that would create that. And if it's really bright, I'll go ahead and put a little bit more light on top, and maybe even to the point where it's white in some spots. There we go. And then let's see, I'll probably smudge this and then do a whole nother bit. Smudge it just a little bit, not to obliterate it. I'll drop the opacity a bit for the smudge, so it's not completely gone, and just try to blend it towards the lines there. And then one more time for the gipper, we'll come through with some dark brown. Got that all the way up to the top, bring that down a little bit, and just try to stick with the lines that I've created, and maybe above them. And if I really like it, I probably would get rid of the hard outline if I end up really liking it. And bring a little bit off to the side here. And we'll bring a little bit of the blonde into his brows, just a little. I think he's got brown eyes. Go ahead and change the brush. Not that it really matters too much, because I'm just going to do a quick fill. Let's see, we'll use this Bio pen. And with kids, it's cool to throw all kinds of stuff in their eyes, especially if they're a little girl. Kind of like Sailor Moon or things like that. We have the eye shines. Let's see, he's got that color. I believe he's got brown eyes. Let's see, and one of the anime things that they like to do is throw a little bit, or let's just do a little bit of yellow. Do a little bit of yellow. And kind of smudge, I'm going to smudge that in with the brown. And the trick to using the smudge tool on Procreate is if you want a color to take over another color, you want to blend from that color outwards. If you want the other color to dominate, you just come into the other color and try to find that mix in between. Okay, and then we'll use a little bit of white. Let's see, we can drop that. If your whites aren't getting as white as you want them to be, one thing I suggest is go ahead and create another layer for it. Let's see. I'm going to give a soft white here, and I think I'll use the soft brush here. Whenever I want to do like some soft coloring, oops, take all that out. We'll throw the highlights on real quick. And the cool thing about Procreate is you can always come back over and put highlights on top of other things as well. So I'm like, yay. Unlike when I'm using like crayons and stuff, you have to think in terms of going from light to dark instead of dark to light, because it's harder to lighten things back up. Alright, another thing that I learned from when I was working at Busch Gardens is people are outside, and because of the sun and the thinness of the ears, they get a little pink in the ear, especially the white people. And he did it to everybody, the guy that was teaching us this. And it doesn't hurt to get on another layer or drop the opacity a bit. That way you can work the colors up. There we go. And he would throw pink in the ears, maybe about in the nose, in the chin, definitely the ears. Everybody had pink ears. And another thing he liked doing was giving everybody the bright cheeks. That was a big thing. Got to give them the bright cheeks. Me, I like kind of diffusing the bright cheeks into like their flesh tone. Let's see, so we're using, he's kind of lighter, and let's see, I'll give him like a reddish tone there. There we go. And I keep it, if you keep it down, the brush opacity, I'm going to move him up higher because I don't really do too much in this neck of the woods. If you can tap it and get subtle tones, and then you can keep tapping it and it gets darker. So you can kind of use that as a shadow as well. If you're filling, the fills seem to respect the other colors. So like if I'm throwing a color in and there's already like a highlight and a pink already there, it will only fill in the things that I did not, you know, like it'll only fill in the white gaps and stuff, or the empty gaps, empty spaces. Maybe throw a little bit more. And there were always different places that were always dark. And I'm going to take this and bring it to a little darker here. And instead of doing that, I'm going to give them a little bit of flat shading. I'm going to get another layer. I'm going to color this black. And then always the places that are always seem to be dark, it may not be so on him right now, but usually in this area, because the eyes seem to, we'll give a little bit here, they're sunken into a cavity, a socket, if you will. So I'm going to fill that. We'll make a more subtle one on a different one. Let's see. Select again. Underneath the nose, usually has a shadow. His light source is coming from behind him. So these don't always apply, but for a cartoon we can get away with it. Let me do this. Select this again, and that just makes the nose pop out a little bit more. We'll put a little subtle where his chin and lips and underneath his head. We'll even do a bit of a shadow because his head is so big and so is his hat. We'll go ahead and add a little bit more here and just kind of give it that kind of spot there. Did I lose that one? No, it's right there. Alright, and we could probably get away with doing a little bit in his ear. Okay, so from this point, I'm going to change the layer mode to linear burn, and then I'm going to drop the opacity. Just about to about 10. 10 is really good. And now if we want to make him look like he's outside, we can do a whole nother of his silhouette, and then color that as well. Let me drop that. Now with the with this selected on this layer, I can do the subtle shading, and I can even drop this a little bit further, and it just gives us a little bit more subtlety on his face. Give it a little bit more subtle. There we go. We can even get away with doing it on here. We'll bring it up a little bit more. Any place where you think it's going to cast a shadow. Nothing too hardcore though. And we'll just go ahead and just keep going. If I wanted it to be a little harder, I'll go ahead and select it. And just go ahead and fill. Oops. And it's a little darker than the soft coloring there. Let's see. Now everything on this side close to us is going to be kind of in shadow. So I'm going to take advantage of that a little bit. Anything that might be kind of beveled out, I'm going to make that a little, let's see, we'll do this. We'll select it, and we'll fill. Yeah, that should have selected it. We'll come on in here. Oops. Let's see, about like that. And maybe we'll take a little bit more here. Oops. maybe even on the wing here. Could probably get in there. Or I could just take my brush and fill it in. Sometimes it gets funny if there's already color there. Like on this edge here, it's not as dark as it could be. We make, let's see. And then you just kind of fill it in with the other colors. Let's see, and that'll make it pop up a little bit. If I need to, I can always make another layer. Do I want to duplicate it? Nah, I don't want to duplicate it. And just make it a little darker. Do the same thing. We'll go ahead and we'll lower the opacity, throw a linear burn on it already, and then we'll start coloring. So it's shadows within shadows. Some are more darker than others. And that just makes it all the more beveled. Should have a little bit of shadow here. Anything that's going to cast a shadow, you want to throw darker. All right. Okay. Sorry, I had a source image in front of my chat. Okay, so did you really? You caricatured there? That's pretty cool. You know, and the thing I liked doing the caricatures, I just hated being outside. I'm an inside cat. Hardcore inside cat. Okay, so let's see. We could probably get away with throwing a few shadows in his hair too, since he's kind of shadowed up a bit. Oh, I'm in smudge. So I can probably get away with throwing a few shadows, make some of the other stuff pop out a little bit more. And then we'll just kind of smudge it in. And just alternate till you're happy. Are you happy? I'm happy. Crap, what time is it? Shoot, it's almost time to go. Oh, I was hoping to get to the Mario Kart, because I was going to do the same thing but with a Mario Kart, but this is going to be nice to show his mom. Let's see. So to be quick, let's go ahead and do another layer, and I want it beneath the shadow layer. So I'll do one more here. And just kind of use the selection tool to fill in the blanks here. Let's see. Go. Put that behind the head. Ooh, not good. Okay. No worries. Yeah, you got to keep in mind that sometimes all these layers on top of each other, they're relatively transparent. But the tinges of green is not a bad thing. Let's see. We'll go ahead and drop this down a little bit. And that just makes some of the other colors pop out more. Now, one of my bad habits is that I do not, my lines don't always connect. And you'll see some, like around in this eye area, the eye, it's just not, some of the lines aren't connecting like I meant them to. There we go. Just hiding some of that white layer. And then I can see where I went out of his skin a bit. So we'll hop on that layer and just kind of clean that up a bit. Okay. Okay. So the other parts of his outfit, let's see. Now I was going to do like a little chainmail in some of these areas, but ain't nobody got time for that right now. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of a lighter green and come over the top of the darker green here. Just around the edges, because if you've got that corresponding dark, going on, we'll just kind of blend it downwards. So where you can't tell where one color ends and the other color begins is how I like my blends. Okay, and then we could probably get away with doing a darker green at the very bottom. Let's see, maybe about there. All right. All right, so part of his outfit, let's see. I'm trying to think, is he wearing long sleeves? Okay. So he has an undershirt under here, and it's kind of like an off green. Maybe a yellow green. These straps are supposed to be brown. Let's see. Yeah, I was just having way too much fun. I should have moved a little bit faster. We'll use about maybe like this olive green here. And we'll drop the opacity there. Clean it up around the edges. We'll give it a darker olive, or come back around with the other tone. Now my biggest dream is to do caricatures like at a convention, and then once I'm done, they can wear it home as a t-shirt. That's one of my biggest dreams, where I can draw something up, have it colored either by me or an assistant, and then you know, and it'd be like virtually anything, you know, within reason. I'd probably have like a price list of things that they could choose from that would be relatively, you know, because it's all custom. And you can almost, I hate to say it like this, but you can almost charge whatever you want for custom, because it's custom. It's one of a kind. Nobody else will ever create that. You know, you have the only one of its existence. So you can't go wrong with something like that. But and so I've been trying to come up with different ways to make it efficient, make the process efficient, because I totally can see people buying it. I just can't. I'm just having a hard time trying to come up with the way of doing it. And the idea came to me in like the middle of the night, one night. You know, it's one of those dreams that or one of those moments where you just can't sleep through. It's like, I gotta write this down. So I spent that entire night trying to figure out how I would make something like that work and be able to churn that stuff out. Because you've seen the artist alleys with the big guys like Jim Lee and stuff like that. But I did that again. So let's go to add and not to the symbol. There we go. I gotta keep telling myself, go to add. There we go. Add. But at least I got the body relatively done here. But yeah, and I want to be, it's like, I want you to draw me as the Hulk, or I want you to draw me the Hulk. And I'm like, okay. So I'll whip out a Hulk, and then by the time I get done, I'll have it all nice and printed and screen printed onto a shirt for them, and they can wear it all over the place. Say, go to this one. It'll cost you your firstborn child, but it's so worth it. And I want it to be quality. One day I will do that. When I finally get my own convention to go to and have a booth and all that other wonderful happy horse shit, I will so be there. So be there. Can't wait. I can taste it. I can almost come up with the idea of how I'm going to do it. I'm just making it a little darker there. Okay. Alright. So this part, I think the overshirt is going to be as green as the hat. Let's see. So we go ahead and select that. Oh, did it again. Oops, I did it again. I can't select because I'm an idiot. Oh, creature of habit. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, yeah, and then, but yeah, this is so much fun. Especially when you're drawing caricatures and people did not expect to go home with them, a cartoon of them looking like a, and some people hold on to that stuff. They do. Okay, I don't want my brush. I just want you, and I want you. Oh, I want you definitely. Come on, Bubba. There we go. And we'll just fill you in. Maybe it's too dark. Oh, well, let's see. Maybe a little bit lighter. Maybe about there. There we go. Lovely. Let's see. And then these are brown. I love that the colors are simple. I just got to keep these aspects in mind when I do my web cartoon. Keep it simple, stupid. That way you can whip through as many stories as possible. Okay, his pants are kind of like this tone, but a little bit more drab. Let's see. We'll go ahead and select them. Crap, what time is it? Okay, I got about 5 minutes, and then when we less than that, and do a quick replay for those who just joined. Yeah, for this right here that I'm doing today is birthday caricature, and this is something that my friend can use when she is going to give out thank you cards, or something that can be printed out at the party, for the party itself. I just wish this stuff was around when I was a kid, because my mom never, I don't think she planned a themed party. It's like, you were born. there's your party theme. You were born. You made it this far without me killing you. Nah, she's a good lady. She was a good lady. let's see, and his pants are a little looser, so I'm going to give it another little tone and make it a little darker around here. And maybe some highlights, more highlights. We'll make it smaller. We'll let the highlights do some of the business here. And then we'll have a couple of the low lights do that too. Make that a little bigger. Give me shadow. Anyway, yeah, I need to make some folds and stuff. Let's see, we'll have to do that later. Don't want it too dark. Let's see, and maybe some of that will come down this way, wherever it's pulling. And then maybe a little bit darker. We have it about right there, where the knee is. All right. Okay, so this is where we are thus far. Let me drop the... Come on. I'm trying to make it bigger. I apologize, you guys. It just doesn't want to move. Doesn't want to. Gotta give it a second. It's frozen. There we go. There we go. Let me think. It's like, let me think, woman. Stop touching me. Yeah. So now I basically need to color in the sword and the shield. The shield. Yeah, since I'm going to be coloring it on a different layer, I have to do it on a different layer. Now, I could take aspects of Link and then do the same thing with how Link's eyes would be, and add that to the character. Let's see, but I don't have time right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick replay. No, not gallery. There we go. Quick replay. And then I'll just try to talk it through a little bit. Okay, so this is a birthday caricature. It's a Nintendo themed party. She's got all kinds of like Nintendo themed party games and things like that. And what I'd like to do is create a party themed shirt for like people who are attending the party. But this is going to be an electronic download for printing in any way, shape, or form. So thank you cards, invitations, things to put on the banners, that could also be put on there. With a caricature like this, I could make him into Kirby. I can make him into virtually anything. So and Nintendo themed, he could be the princess. I could draw him as Zelda. It's just having fun with it. And if I'm really clever, and do like all these little party supplies, this could be like a really nice themed party. It could be like not pencil holders, but straw holders, little things for cups, so people can identify whose cups are what. There's a lot of potential for having a caricature like this done. For me, also, if the birthday boy or girl would like to have a t-shirt made, same image could be immediately taken into my Teespring account, and a shirt can be generated right off of the bat. Whereas if I did it by hand, it would take, oh my gosh, it would take at least a few days to get through it. But yeah, but the novelty of it is that it could be reproduced over and over again or given to friends or whatnot. So thank you guys for joining. Randy, thank you so much for popping in. And I definitely would like to see more of your work. I'd like to see more of your stories, even if it's just told by like individual strips. All right, you guys, thanks again. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.